Hello. Just recording this video to talk about um, loneliness and grief. I am on the 26th of July. This video was recorded in September of 2016. On the 26th of July, my partner of 17 years just passed away. Just so quick. She'd had a blood clot on the leg, and it caused her to it travelled into the pulmonary artery, or the vein, I think they call it, on the way to the lungs, and the illness is called pulmonary. I forgot the name now. Pulmonary embolism, and there was no warning signs really. It just happened. We called for an ambulance because she was feeling tired and cold. So straight away, you call for an ambulance, don't you? And the ambulance took its time to get here because they were busy. And we got her into the ambulance, and she seemed okay. Then the next minute, she just went. She just went in front of me. The nurses and me, we all thought she was fine, and they even said that she should be able to get in the ambulance herself, which she did. But when she got in and sat down on the seat in the ambulance, she just left me, and just went. I suppose my point is, don't take anything for granted. I didn't see this coming. I didn't see this coming at all. And I love her. I always will. She's my life. I was her life. We just shared everything together. So, first point is, don't take anything for granted. Try and keep the unpleasantries of relationships to a minimum, because you just don't know what's around the corner. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but it's a true fact of life. We're all going to die. We just don't know when. Anyway, like I say, it's been about 2 months now. It's going on for 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and where we've moved to a place where we're on our own, and we're going to build his life on his own. We've got a little cat. I'll just quickly. She's there. Look, she's asleep. Well, she's trying to sleep. We've got a little cat, and it's just me and her. And I've had to deal with the grief with Facebook friends and family, and my son came to see me for a while, but by and large it's been just me and the cat, and it might seem scary that to a lot of people, but you have to deal with the grief, and the only person who can deal with the grief is yourself. It's a process. You've got to go through it. And then, that the grief itself isn't the only thing. After the grief, I mean, I'm not over grieving yet, but after the grief, you've then got the loneliness and the emptiness. And they all sound like horrible names, but they're basically labels to the whole process of grieving. You don't have to look at it as a bad thing. It's basically letting go of an old way of living. You're trying to find a new way of living. And don't fight it. Don't try and hide from it, because it will get you when you're on your own. It will creep up on you. Don't fight it. Go with it. Think about it. Don't be too hard on yourself. The guilt, when that comes in, that's very hard, but it does pass. It all passes. The worst thing that can come out of it is if you do something silly. So for anybody who's watching this thinking of doing anything silly, I'm a religious person, and I will tell you that if you do anything silly in this life, you pay for it in the next. We all pay for the things that we do in this world. Anyway, I don't want to get into a battle about whether there's a God or not, but my point is grief and loss, two biggest things that I am going through at the moment. Sorry, grief and loneliness. And the loneliness is me trying to find ways of dealing with my day. I've got lots of things I want to do, lots of things I want to achieve. But because I'm still grieving, which is a form of depression, I suppose, in itself, because I'm grieving, it makes it very hard to think about doing things that were plans for me and Cassie, who I lost. I'm rambling. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I'm in the middle of grief and loneliness, and for anybody out there who just happens to come across this video, if you're feeling like this, try and think to yourself, there is other people going through this. It's not just you. You know, there is help out there, but it's something you are going to have to ultimately go through yourself. You're gonna have to battle the demons yourself. Don't be hard on yourself, like I said earlier. Work with your grief. Work with the loneliness. Find ways of find ways through it. Take every day as it comes. Look at new things you've always wanted to do. Look at things that you might not have been able to do before that you can do now. And start building again. There's nothing wrong with being lonely. There's nothing wrong with being on your own. A lot of people are scared of that. A lot of people are in relationships where they're so unhappy, but they think that being on their own is worse. They probably find out that being on their own was the best thing they could ever do. And you know, basically, if you need to talk, leave a comment. I will talk. This is my first video about this, so I am rambling a bit. I'm gonna do more, because I'm in the process of it all myself, like I say, and I'm gonna try and be a bit clearer on my next video. You know, I look hideous on this video, I've just noticed, but I just wanted to talk. So good luck to you all out there. You're not the first person. You're certainly not the last person who's ever had to deal with grief or loss, or I mean, even breaking up is bad. Breaking up with somebody people may think, but breaking up, the person you're breaking up with is still alive. Yeah, that's true, but you're having to give up a big part of your life. The breaking up is like a death. You're having to think about that person you love with somebody else one day, and that in itself is a major thing to have to deal with. That's a secondary thing that we deal with. I'm going to have to cut this video off now. It's gone into nearly 10 minutes, but I am going to continue with this as best I can. Right, bye for now and good luck. Don't be hard on yourself. That's if you are grieving. Don't be hard on yourself. Take your time, talk to people, and embrace the time on your own. Embrace it, don't fight it, because it's going to come your way. When you're on your own, in bed, anything like that, it's going to come its way. It's going to come your way. So, good luck. Right, bye.